my wife came home, like I got teased and, you know, like it's normal. And then I had to go and pay Lobola to make it. Yeah, so she was pregnant with my child. And then we said, no, we've got money, let's go to South Africa and buy preparation. And she was close to 7 months pregnant, heavily pregnant. Like we give it, you know, our seed is that it grows, germinates well in the tummy. So we went to Park Station, and we got there. We didn't know, right? We didn't know that if you like, you know, if you get out of Park Station, you don't stop like stand by KFC, just, you know, like that corner is deadly. We didn't know because we used to flying. So the guys came and like, they heard us speaking Shona because we were calling the guy if I was to pick, and like, I'm like, by the time I finished that statement, 5 guys had pounced, right? And then they were like, give us your phones. I was like, aha, Maya, give us your wallet. And now the other guy was standing behind my wife with a knife, right? The other guy was with a knife to my stomach. He was like, if you don't give us money, we'll rip his stomach open, right? And at that moment, I started seeing lights. I quickly gave him my phone, and then I gave him my wallet. The lucky thing was the money that we had was inside my wife's purse, and she was wearing a poncho. Right, so the poncho was covering the purse, which was, you know, the handbag, whatever, right? So at that moment, they managed to take 2 phones and about 200 and something rands that was in my wallet, right? So at that moment, everything blacked out. We went back into Park Station. We had to call back people in Zimbabwe to get numbers of people in South Africa, and it was crazy. Have you ever seen a woman cry because she's helpless and you are helpless? It was a typical scenario where I didn't know what to do, bro. Like I was wondering if I had done like martial arts, and, you know, like, can I tell them jokes, and I couldn't do anything. You know, I'm not a good fighter, I'm not good at anything. Like, yeah, you know, at school I would just be like people fighting, like, I was that guy. I was just, you know, but I was helpless. A guy called Zolibanzi, I'm forgetting the surname. Oh, the guy had stopped to start. I managed to interface with him during the NAMA nominee kind of thing, and he gave me an insight into stop to start, right? So every time you feel like you're not doing well, he said you stop so that you start again. So what I simply did was I stopped, right? There was a time when I even stopped like doing shows, like doing, you know, I stopped because I wanted to say, okay, where are we going wrong, right? I realized that it's not upon our generation probably to run with it, to go to Europe. We can still go to Europe, right? But we need a sensational Zimbabwean story. What best way to create a platform, to rejuvenate a platform and say, okay, regardless of venues being, you know, refusing to have us come through and etc. We then started saying we want to create platforms and say we have 8 shows a month, comedy shows. It doesn't matter if a comedian gets $20 or $10. What's important is to then say, what is it that you're performing, right? You see, if we can have Skanyi, So, Louis, Kadem doing the Eastern Highlands circuit, that's Rusape, Mtare, Chimanimani, Nyanga, 4 shows in a week. That's a circuit. Skanyi is doing the Kariba circuit. Kariba, Karoi, Chinoi, Banget, Westgate, and CBD. We have another one doing the Blawayo, the Plumtree, the Blawayo circuit, with Vic Falls, Wange, Blawayo, Gweru, Kwekwe, Kadoma, Chegutu, Norton, Harare. Right? So this is the dream, the Simuka dream. So now what I'm more focused on, what Simuka is focused on is trying to adopt as many talented comedians as possible, unearth new talent so that we open this. So in 5 years' time, we'll be having circuits. But we are saying for them, the upcoming comics, the comics that are doing it right now, that are hot, they have to understand that probably what we were doing was wrong. I know many comics are going to backlash it. Hey, Doku, you was high, but maybe what we're doing was wrong. Maybe the way we're delivering stand-up comedy was not stand-up comedy like. It's a deliberate ploy. We are saying, what's our name? Simuka Comedy, stand-up comedy, right? So we're going back to the basics, stop to start. When we started, it was a stand-up comedy movement, right? But what we're having is guys with jokes on stage, right? We don't have guys doing stand-up routines, right? Because stand-up comedy, you do routines that are funny, that incite laughter from people, right? So we're saying we want to do stand-up comedy as an art form. We want it to grow the way that it is, right? You can't go on stage as a poet and say, this is dancehall. No, right? Dancehall is dancehall. Hip hop is hip hop. There's an art to it, right? The way you write your bars, the way you, I don't know the EPD, hoppity items, but I just know that there's an art. So is to stand-up comedy. If you look at the great Richard Pryor, the great Eddie Murphy, you know, go to your Red Fox, your Steve Harvey. If you watch their specials, there's an art to what they're doing. They're not just saying stories. No. People think they're saying stories, but there's an art to it. That's what we want to restore. We want to go back and say, guys, stand-up comedy should be treated thus, you know, because if Netflix was to come into Zimbabwe, probably it would fail to find one person to give a special, because the material that I do in 30 minutes is maybe 3 minutes, in 30 minutes is maybe 5 hours of comedy. Why? Because we are not working on the joke, right? So maybe the way I do my 30 minutes, Netflix will come and squash it into 5 minutes, and they say, no, your 30 minutes does not. Yeah. Maybe they are not. Maybe they might not be. Maybe they are not as smart as the previous republic, or they are not aware, or they don't realize the impact of stand-up comedy. But we are very free, and we are much more flexible now. And it's easier for us now to make jokes on the political landscape, because we have a history to talk about, a present, and a future to anticipate. With Mugabe, it was more like. It is the present. It is because going into Smith, into the it's part of our history we haven't joked about, right? But we can only joke about it at the right time, when everything else is, because you can't be joking about Smith when you have someone, when your country it's seemingly in the Smith days. You understand? So the thing is, we have to joke about Smith when probably when things are cool. Now we can joke about Lobengula, Zwangendaba, Kaguvi Neanda, but still the time shall come. Right? So now we're free, we are comfortable, we can make fun of ED, of Chiwenga, and you know, yeah, I think they're cool with it. Or they don't know. Or they have no Facebook accounts and YouTube accounts, I don't know, yeah. So Special Class was born out of, Simuka Comedy has branched out into, we now have a talent agency. Simuka Comedy is the business side of things. We also, and then there is Vikela Entertainment, which is a production company that deals with comedy, you know, anything that is to do with production, right? So Simuka Comedy falls rightly under Vikela Entertainment. So what was happening was, for the talent that we have at hand, we get them gigs, weddings, MCing, we get them small gigs each here and there. But now the element was, what can we do to make sure that people can relate to stand-up comedians on TV, not on skits, not on, but on a TV show. Look at Martin, look at Eddie Murphy, Saturday Night Live. Yes, exactly. Or comedians doing that. It's like, and then we came, and then we said, okay, as Vikela Entertainment, Simuka Comedy, and College Central, right? What can we do? Right? And then the idea of skits was on the table. We said, no, this is a no-go area. Already they are masters of this, right? But there's something that we're missing. What if comedians do a show together? People have overexhausted flats, overexhausted rank, bars, whatever. What if we go back to the classroom? What if you go to that class that you always laughed about, but no one knew what was happening in there? Okay, what if we redesign our special class to say, we want to incorporate everything that has happened since 1980. We have Shatibu Tao coming in as a 60-year-old who's coming from the war, right? He's going back to school, right? So we are looking at this is a pure Zimbabwean story, right? We have got a Rasta Buju coming in, Skanzo, that guy. He smokes weed, right? He has issues, right? He doesn't even pay school fees, right? He doesn't even like school, right? So this is the character that we bring into the show and say, we have characters like that. There was that guy at school who would bang lessons, who would cause problems in the class, who would smoke weed. You would know that, you will check on the moon, right? Then there's Boomba. Boomba comes from a good family, they pay school fees, but still you wonder, with all this good background, why is Boomba not receptive to school, right? You also have Tinai. Tinai is the constable, is the class monitor, is the guy who's Anchaga Jene. He's that guy who's like, say, Takambo Jita, say, Varkunye say, Inema. He's that kind of, you know, that kind of kid. So we have Tinai, right? Then we've got, Saru. Saru is the girl who knows she's beautiful, she's conscious. It's done by Melinda Shumba, and she's cocky, and she doesn't even care, right? Like, probably she's got, maybe she has had sex, right? So she doesn't give a fuck. Like, even the teacher says something like, you know, I know. You know those kind of girls in class, right? And then we have Petronella, done by Lisa Gutu, brilliant actress. So Petronella is a church girl. She's a businesswoman. She sells sweets in class. You know that girl, the church girl. She sells sweets. She's always like she wants to act holy, right? Askana marambo shide. Skanaga, and you know, we have that mix. And then also we have Tito, done by Kadium the comic. So Tito is a typical guy who's he wants to play sports, right? He wears the armband every day in class. He's not even in the first team, the second team, even the third team, but armband and figure because even session and armband. So Tito is a guy who comes in class and is more like he wants peace, right? Because of that nice character, you cannot make it in life, because even Kubora put a nice character, right? King, Chichi. So he's that. And then we have Rudo. Rudo is done by Maya Banks. Rudo is the crybaby of the class. You know the you see? So and then there is the professor, right? So the professor was a character created by then there's the Chati, the 60-year-old guy who's Rizla. His name is Rizla. He comes from the war and then he joins, right? So and then there's the professor done by myself. The professor character, it was not really intended for it to have an effect on the show. It was intended for the guidance of the punchlines, right? We have talent in the room, right? That we need to unlock.
Also, you become the curator of that.
So what I do in the class, probably I'm the you know, you see when you're playing squash, I'm the wall that when he hits his punchline, people laugh, it bounces on me, goes to Tinai, goes to, you see, so maybe with time the teacher is going to be made into something different, because the professor is not even a real teacher. He's a temporary teacher. Maybe if you go deeper, he's not even a teacher, right? So it's an admixture of confusion in this classroom, because we have 13 episodes and then probably this teacher is going to teach for 1 episode or 2 episodes. We don't know, but what we know is he's not a real teacher. You see even his demeanor, his confidence, everything is not tuned into the class. Hi guys, my name is Doc Vikela. You're watching Nafuna TV.